It's 323 BC in the desert metropolis of Babylon. Alexander the Great has just conquered the known world, pushing his borders from Greece to the edge of India. But the most powerful man on earth is falling apart. After a night of heavy drinking, he develops a sudden, mysterious fever. Within days, his condition deteriorates so rapidly that he is entirely bedridden, eventually slipping into a coma. He dies shortly after, at just 32 years old. In his wake, he leaves behind a contiguous empire stretching over 3,000 miles, but absolutely no clear, capable heir to manage it. That specific, premature death in the dusty heat of Babylon is the exact pivot point that allowed our modern reality to take shape. Almost immediately after he stops breathing, his top generals turn on one another. They murder his legitimate heirs and carve his massive, unified territory into smaller, competing kingdoms. This infighting drains the region's resources and creates a massive geopolitical power vacuum across the entire Mediterranean basin. Into that void steps a young, unchecked city-state on the Italian peninsula, the Roman Republic. Over the next few centuries, Rome will swallow those fractured kingdoms, dominating the region and laying the political and cultural groundwork for Western civilization. But historical records show that at the exact time of his death, Alexander already had a fleet built and a new invasion planned. So what if the fever broke? What if he woke up? If Alexander recovers and consolidates his power, the timeline that builds the Roman Empire is aborted before it even begins. Upon recovering, his immediate first step is survival. He violently purges the conspirators who may have tried to poison him and reasserts absolute control over his military commanders. To secure his political legacy, he focuses on raising an heir with his principal wife, the Persian princess Statera. His goal is to create a single, unified Greco-Persian bloodline that commands unquestioned loyalty. With his throne secure, he needs a new campaign. His troops had previously mutinied in the grueling jungles of India, making a return to the Far East a massive political risk. This animated map illustrates his historically documented next move, an invasion of the Arabian Peninsula. He intended to conquer the coastline to monopolize the rich trade routes flowing from India and Indonesia into the Persian Gulf and the Red Sea. By controlling this specific geographic choke point, Alexander sets up his empire as the sole middleman for the global spice trade, securing the resources necessary to fund a permanent professional military machine that no local power can match. Facing no serious threats from the east, he can turn his fully funded veteran military machine exclusively toward the west. Alexander points his forces toward Europe, marching tens of thousands of highly disciplined Greek and Macedonian soldiers straight into the Balkans. The logistical hurdle here is pushing through the fragmented tribes of Celts and Gauls. But against the tactical brilliance of the Macedonian phalanx, these disorganized groups are quickly subdued, opening a direct path into the Italian peninsula. Waiting for him is the Roman Republic. In the 4th century BC, Rome is not yet a global superpower. It is a small, localized city-state, lacking the manpower, the wealth, or the strategic depth of a unified Asian and Greek empire. Rome is crushed in its infancy. Before its famous legions can evolve or its infrastructure can mature, the city falls to Macedonian siege tactics. From there, it's a short hop across the water to North Africa. Carthage, still centuries away from its peak, falls next. The entire Mediterranean Sea effectively becomes a Macedonian lake. By systematically dismantling both Rome and Carthage early, Alexander ensures the geopolitical foundations of Western civilization are never built. Fast forward several decades. An older, more bureaucratic Alexander rules from Babylon, dedicating his later years to a philosophical policy called homonia, the concept that all mankind should be of one mind. He actively engineers a blended society, merging Greek administration with Persian aristocratic traditions. Over a lifetime of rule, this creates a stable, culturally unified superstate spanning 3 continents. This stability triggers a permanent shift in European culture. Because the Roman Empire never expands across Europe, the Latin language is never seeded into the continent's population. Instead, the writing systems of Western Europe are derived directly from the Greeks. Tribes that interact with Alexander's borders developed a Greek-Celtic hybrid script, similar to how Slavic nations eventually adopted Cyrillic. Without Rome, French, Spanish, and Italian simply never develop. Even English loses the Latin-derived vocabulary that defines its legal and scientific traditions, leaving the modern world with an entirely different set of spoken and written tools. The second cultural ripple affects religion. The physical infrastructure of the Roman Empire, its vast network of paved roads, and its unified legal system served as the exact vehicle that allowed early Middle Eastern monotheism to spread. Without Roman trade networks or a Roman emperor to eventually adopt it, Christianity remains localized and fails to become the dominant institutional religion of the Western world. Instead, Europe remains polytheistic. The state-sponsored deification of Alexander the Great himself provides the religious bedrock, integrating easily into the existing pagan pantheons of the Greeks, Egyptians, and Celts. Our modern reality is defined by Latin languages, Roman legal frameworks, and monotheistic institutions. But in this timeline, a Greco-Persian superstate oversees a pagan world, and the only reason we have our history instead of theirs is because a 32-year-old caught a fatal fever.